We've got a tech guy here, Ms. Walk, so just you're helping us figure
Okay.
this out, okay? Do you have a client in the waiting room?
Your Honor, my client told me that he was not going to be able to have the
Okay.
technology to be able to appear via Zoom.
Right, that's why we're here in the courtroom today. This was scheduled to be in the courtroom today.
And I was told that we were not supposed to come in person unless we got a staggered in-person court time.
That's what this is. Right? It's not, Mr. Van Clerk? Okay. Oh, it what?
This was scheduled prior to the plea and sentencing courts coming up.
Okay, got it. All right. All right, so now let's put this. All right. Okay. So we'll start, if you'll just stick around a little bit to make sure we got everything working here, okay? Thanks. All right, state of Wisconsin. I'm sorry, we're going on the record. State of Wisconsin, Milwaukee County Circuit Court, Honorable Hannah C. Dugan presiding. Some parties are in person in room 515, but we also on Zoom with other parts of the parties and on YouTube Live for public access during the public health crisis. State of Wisconsin versus Ronnie Davis, 2019 CM 3153, disorderly conduct, use of a dangerous weapon. Appearances, please.
State of Wisconsin appears by Assistant District Attorney William Ackel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Sarah Zwalk on behalf of Ronnie Davis, who is not present with us via Zoom. He is out of custody.
Okay, and where is he today?
Your Honor, I had contact with him on Friday about this case when I was emailing with your clerk. He told me he did not have access to a computer and that he could call in, but I did not think that calling in would be sufficient to complete a plea and sentencing today.
Okay, so this is the first day that the court is actually in court for precisely the types of people that either do not want to waive their in-person appearance or don't have mechanisms. So there's a little crossing of wires here. We could have done this here today, but you're not prepared to do that, right?
Well, Your Honor, I emailed your clerk last week inquiring about whether this would be held in person, and I was told that it could not be done in person today and that I would need to get a different time because this date was scheduled back in March.
Okay. All right. Can you get your client on the line so we can schedule?
I can certainly try.
Yeah, and we're perfectly understanding that people don't have all of the devices, but we do need people to appear by phone at least.
Okay.
Sandra?
Your Honor, I did not get a response. I left a voicemail. I did tell him that the court might need him to appear, and that he should be available.
Okay, so we had the wires got crossed here in terms of today was the day we were able to have him here in person. So we're going to need to reschedule this. Madam Clerk, we need an in-person hearing date, please.
August 7th at 8:30 or 1:30?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the date.
August,
I can't hear, Madam Clerk.
I don't know.
August 7th at 8:30 or 9 or 1:30.
That's a bad day.
August 6th at 8:30 or 1:30?
August 6th, 8:30 or 1:30.
8:30 should be fine that day.
Yes, August 6th at 8:30 for plea and sentencing.
Okay. All right, Ms. Walk.
Madam Clerk, is that an in-person or a Zoom date?
That would be in person, I'm assuming?
Yes.
That's in person, Attorney Zweig.
Got it, thank you.
Okay, so now 1 second. Let me just pull up the case here. Okay, so you filed everything. Okay, we need, make sure that you have the credit sheet done as well.
Okay,
And ahead of time, and of course, the notice of post-conviction relief. And this was a jury trial. I just want to make sure that he waived his right to a jury trial. Back in December, he waived his right. Okay. And then were there any victims, alleged victims in this matter?
No, Your Honor, it's a shot spotter complaint.
Okay. So the victim rights legislation under the Constitution provision is satisfied. There's no justice point here, right? Okay. Now this will be an in-person proceeding. According to the Supreme Court rule, and you need to communicate this, Ms. Walk, to your client. This is why we want people here at least by audio so they hear this, okay? That Supreme Court rule and the order of the county executive, masks are mandatory at all times in the courthouse in all places. It is at the discretion of the judge during the proceeding about whether to lower masks. However, that will not be done until the discussion has occurred where everyone feels comfortable with lowering masks in the courtroom. There's protocols about cleanliness and safety that will be followed throughout the proceedings and throughout the courthouse. They will be enforced, including that only 2 people will be allowed on an elevator at one time, except for family groups. However, and so people should plan accordingly that there may be some backup at the elevators and they will have to use, if they have to use the elevator, there will only be 2 people allowed on at one time. There is a limited amount of seating in every courtroom depending upon the size of the courtroom. That's why these are being broadcast by YouTube. We're trying to reduce the number of people in the courthouse but still have public access. So your client should be made aware of that as well. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Rock?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so this was let's see. This. I see here this, Madam Clerk, this notation about Samantha Miller.
No, attorney Rob is not the attorney elected on this case.
Okay, all right. So there's nothing else that we need to address, Ms. Rock, right?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a
And
great day.
thanks for your patience this morning. Thanks for helping us out with figuring this out, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, Miss Lee is back. Now she's disappeared. What happened to her again? Okay. Did she communicate with you, Madam Clerk? Okay, all right. So we'll call a couple of these other cases. See, Miss Joseph is here again. And Swan. And here's Miss Lee. All right, she keeps going in and out. I'm not sure if that's a problem on our side or if she's. Okay. All right. All right. Now, I can hear myself echo. Is that always going to be that I'm echoing because of the Zoom, right?
Yes, otherwise I wouldn't be able to hear closing counsel. So I need speakers.
I see. Okay. I can't hear you? Okay, thank you. All right. So remind me again, Mr. Ackel, everybody should be off when they're not speaking, right?
Only in the courtroom.
Only in the courtroom, okay.
It's to tamp down on
Okay, all right. All right. So state of Wisconsin versus Kirk Davis. (2020) CT 83, OWI 3rd, and operating PAC 3rd. Appearances, please.
State of Wisconsin appears by Assistant District Attorney William Ackel.
Attorney Patrick Wade appears on behalf of Kirk Davis. I do not know if he is connected.
Did he, I have a list here. Jose is the only unidentified person. Might that be your
The
client or?
number I have
Oh, no,
ends
that's somebody else. That's somebody else. I don't have anybody else in the waiting room. That isn't, that I don't identify. You know where your client is, Mr.? Wait. That be your client or? What's that? Mr. Wade, do you know where your client is?
No, Your Honor.
Have you had contact with him?
I have. He's indicated that he is in treatment at Outreach. I asked him to send me verification. I have not received it.
Okay, but you don't know where he is right now, right?
No. I can try getting a hold of him.
Yeah, why don't you do that? We'll put you on,
Okay.
find out where he is, or what the status is.
All right.
Okay, I'll put you, there we go, thank you. All right, Ms. Lee, and Mr. Romanesco, Ms. Lee, is your client?
Judge, yes, I'm sorry. I am here, and I believe that was my client. You indicated Jose was in the waiting room.
Right, is that your client?
Yes.
Oh.
And I apologize. I logged in at 9. I saw that there were technical difficulties. So I'm actually driving to the office right now. So that's why I'm appearing only by audio.
Okay, all right, so you want to pull over for a second, so you're not
Yes.
just. Okay, thank you.
Yes, I can do that.
Oh, yeah, that's a blinker, okay.
Yes.
I did just receive a note.
I'm pulled over. So whenever you're ready.
Well, 1 second.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That we aren't appearing on branch 31 YouTube.
Oh,
It says live on YouTube, but it might not be on the correct channel.
oh, it's on the channel for here.
It's on the 19th channel.
It's on the channel for this room. I logged in, but for some reason. Yeah, I logged in.
I'm having Attorney Potter check the branch 19th channel.
What's that?
I'm having someone check the branch 19th channel.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I see you, I can see you now, Ms. Lee,
Mhm.
and hear you. We have had, this is the first day that we're in the courtroom. I'll call the case in a second. This was scheduled for a hearing here because it's still a motion hearing. But we don't, and we did arrange for a court reporter, I mean, sorry, an interpreter this morning. But there seems to have been a cross of wires because we have to do motion hearings in person. And it's unclear whether or not the district attorney subpoenas. Mr. Eckel, you had subpoenaed on this, right?
We did subpoena witnesses.
So, but you're not present and neither is your client. So let's call the case and find out what's happening with this case, okay? All right.
Okay.
State of Wisconsin versus Jose Santillan, 2019 CT 2114, OWI second, operating PAC second, hit and run, operating while revoked. Milwaukee County versus Jose Santillan, 2019 FO 1485, resisting, obstructing, hindering. 2019 TR 29839, unsafe lane deviation. And 9838, operating a motor vehicle without insurance. And 9837, keeping an open intoxicants in motor vehicle as a driver. Appearances, please.
State of Wisconsin and County of Milwaukee appear by Assistant District Attorney William Eckel.
Attorney May Lee appears via Zoom on behalf of Jose Santillan Salazar, who I believe is also appearing via Zoom.
He's not, he's in the waiting room because we don't have an interpreter here.
Okay.
Okay, but he is present in the waiting room at least, okay? so we know he's here and he has been waiting. We've had some, because this is the first day on this, in this courtroom, since with the Zoom and with in-person, we're trying to just get some of the technical difficulties squared away here. Mr. Ackle, were there any alleged victims in this matter?
No, there were not, Your Honor.
There's a hit and run.
That's correct, but this, I guess the OWI was found afterwards. We've never had a victim associated to this case.
Okay, I'm a little lost on that one. If there's a hit and run, there's no victim. It's listed as a hit and run though.
I see that, Your Honor. It's in the complaint. I'm looking through our file as to listed victims. And there, I guess, I mean, I agree with the court. A hit and run requires a victim. But no one has been notified about any of the hearings throughout the history of this case. I'm looking through the file right now if I could find a victim to notify for the hearing. I have someone I can notify for the next hearing, but for this hearing's purposes, the victim was not notified.
Okay, so the victim notification or victim rights notification of the Constitution is not satisfied for today. This was scheduled. We had a previous motion hearing date on February 17th, 2020 that had one deputy testify, and we had to adjourn it for cross-examination. Mr. Ackler, are there any other expected witnesses for the motion hearing?
No, Your Honor, I was planning on just the one, or just the last one we were on.
Okay. And Ms. Lee, do you anticipate any witnesses to,
No, Judge.
All right. This is also an interpreter case. Through the process of, we're back here on March 18th and we scheduled it for a motion hearing today. And a lot has happened in between those two dates, including the reconstruction of the court process with Zoom and so forth. This type of hearing cannot be done by Zoom. It was scheduled today on the date when the court would be in the courtroom, but there's some missteps here, especially with now we know what the victim as well, because that rights legislation or referendum changed things in April. We'll need to have an interpreter, and we'll need to make sure that people know they need to be in the courthouse. So there are only a few more days that the court has its courtroom, Madam Clerk. We're going to have to move some other matters around because this is a continuation and it's a priority to try to finish the motion hearings before I leave this assignment. Okay, Ms. Lee?
Yes, that's fine.
July 31st at 10:30.
July 31st at 10:30?
That works for defense.
Okay. All right.
My apologies, Judge. I actually have a speedy trial scheduled for that day. So I anticipate that that'll be going.
A speedy trial in the felony courts?
Yes.
Okay. Well, at this time, they're prioritizing those. Is it, Madam Clerk, are there any other of the 3 other days that the court has this courtroom, the branch has this courtroom? Because we're just gonna have to take some of the plea and sentencing off.
Oh, okay. Hold on just a minute. My calendar, I think, took me to August 31st. So it's July 31st at 10:30, right?
Madam Clerk, July 21st at 10:30? Okay, all right, so Ms. Lee flipped to a different calendar, so July 31st, we'll need victim notification, we'll need an interpreter, we'll need to do it in person here in 5:15.
Okay.
We don't have your client on the call because we need an interpreter. But to remind you, Ms. Lee, and to make sure your client understands, according to the Supreme Court rule and the county executive order, masks are mandatory in all places in the courthouse. There will be cleanliness and safety protocols that will be enforced and have to be followed. Only 2 people may be on an elevator at any time. So to plan accordingly. If you or your client is not using the steps, that there will be only 2 people allowed. Depending upon the size of the courtroom, there'll be a limited number of people who can be in the courtroom. That's why we're on live, YouTube Live for public access. But all of the protocols will be enforced for everyone's health and safety. If during the hearing it's determined that there's a request to have somebody's mask lowered in the courtroom, that's at the discretion of the judge and will not be done until it's discussed about lowering the masks, okay?
Okay.
Any other questions?
Not from defense.
Okay. I don't see, he is present, so the traffic, I mean, he did check in, but although we haven't brought him on the screen, so the traffic matters will continue as a status, they won't be defaulted. And I don't see any justice point, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okay, Ms. Lee, anything else?
No, thank you.
Anything else from the state? Nothing?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. All right, Ms. Lee, stay safe.
Okay. All right. Bye now.
Okay, we'll go back to Mr. Waite. Okay, Mr. Waite, you were going to try to get a hold of your client. 1 second, please.
I just got off the phone with him. He said he thinks he's in the waiting room.
Under what name?
It's Kirk Davis.
We don't have anyone in the waiting room by that name. We have somebody by the name of Christopher Wilson. If he's using somebody else's phone,
He might be.
Okay, it's still connecting to audio. I see an attorney in the gallery. Have you checked in? Okay, so you've emailed Madam Clerk? Okay, so she'll let me know what that's about. Okay, Mr. Wilson, the person who's identified as Christopher Wilson, what case are you here for? Would the person on the line please identify themselves? All right, it's starting to connect again. Okay, hello? Okay, that person's not connecting. Mr. Wade, we'll take one more case, and if the person can't connect, then we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you with. You haven't had any other communication with him, text message or anything, have you?
I can try texting him right now.
Okay, we'll put you on mute and take one of these other cases then. Thank you. State of Wisconsin versus Joseph Bailing, 2018, CM 2792. Appearances, please.
State of Wisconsin. Oh,
State of Wisconsin appears by Assistant District Attorney William Apple.
Okay,
Sarah Joseph appears on behalf of Mr. Joseph Bailing.
okay. Hi, Ms. Joseph.
Good
Thanks for
morning.
your patience this morning. Do you know where your client is?
No, Your Honor, I have no explanation.
Okay, I see it. When's the last time you had contact with him?
Your Honor, I don't have a number to call, so I am unable to get in contact.
Okay, I have an address in Franklin with a phone number. You don't have any phone number?
No, I did not get a phone number.
Court case, the court record shows 262-875-9206. Did you get that?
Yes, I did. And would you mind giving me the address as well? Because in our file, it just said obtain address at next state.
12113 West Rawson, Rawson Avenue, Franklin, 53132. I see here, Mr. Eckel, were there any alleged victims in this matter?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. This is a possession of amphetamine. I see that he's been discharged from Justice Point in May. There was a bench warrant in September that was returned in May, which apparently either it wasn't state or Mr. Eckel, were there any new pending charges that have not been New matters that have not been charged yet?
Not in this county.
Okay. And you don't have any record of him being in custody anywhere, right?
Well, there was an arrest warrant issued out of Waukesha County, a $5,000 arrest warrant. And it says return on warrant on May 19th on CCAP. Waukesha County case number 20 CF 492. No indication about what happened after that, though, whether or not he was given a cash or a signature bond.
What's the date on that, please?
The return on warrant was May 19th. And then, well, there was a note on May 11th that warrant was canceled because the defendant was in custody in Milwaukee. So I believe he was transported to Waukesha.
Okay, and there was also a speeding ticket issued, forfeiture issued on May 10th in Green Lake County.
That's a different middle initial, Your Honor.
It's different. Okay, good. All right, thank you for seeing that. I didn't quite see the birth date yet. Okay. So it's possible that he might still be in custody in Waukesha. Is that right?
I'm checking VineLink now.
I saw that on VineLink, he only had, his location status was unknown. So I didn't get too much information from that.
And they're showing an updated address as of April 13th for this 2019 matter in Waukesha of that Rawson Avenue, Ms. Joseph.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So as recently as April, that's an updated address. And they're showing a different phone number of 414-499-8375. So that's a secondary number. I don't know which one is more current, okay?
Thank you.
All right, so we don't have any indication that he's in custody. There is a discharge and some activity here. Mr. Ackel, anything from you?
Your Honor, I would ask for a bench warrant on this case. He had 3 failures to appear before his last initial appearance, and then he skipped out on Justice Point, or he's in custody. But either way, to get him, we need to get him back here somehow.
Ms. Joseph?
I would strongly object to that. I think that I have no indication that Mr. Bailing didn't try to show up to court today. I think letting me send a letter out to the address that you have provided, or at least trying to call those numbers, and giving me time to try to get in touch with Mr. Bailing and to give him instructions on how to appear over Zoom, because he has no instructions to appear over Zoom, would be a reasonable thing to do, rather than just automatically bench warrant somebody, ask that they come into custody and potentially expose themselves and the community at large to COVID. So I think that would be probably the better option here.
Well, ordinarily, I would grant this because he's clearly been engaged in the system since the crisis began. He's got 2 discharges here, and returns on warrant as early as May 7th on this particular case. I'll let you contact them because you didn't have the information. Well, you could have gotten the address information, but you didn't have the telephone. So I'll give you 10 days, and order calendar call. I'm not sure what this was originally scheduled for.
Just a scheduling. I also would ask that the district attorney send over any discovery on this case,
Um,
unless they already have, but I haven't.
Well, I see that there was over a year ago, it looks like there was a TAD evaluation that was being scheduled in May. And that Mr. Hackbarth had the original discovery in April last year.
I can try to get that from Attorney Hackbart.
If you can't get it within a week, just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
And then there's something here about Jennifer Flynn being paid. I know that was about the time that Mr. Hackbarth stopped taking appointments, but and this was scheduled for jury at 1.2. So I'm not sure if Ms. Flynn might have it too, but might get discovery, and I'm guessing Mr. Eckel, there's a new offer on this. I don't see that a TAD evaluation was done.
There will be an offer forthcoming. I need to look into the Waukesha case a little bit.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Joseph, Madam Clerk, could we have a date for a calendar call, adjourn pretrial? Go ahead. Well, she's got to get a letter out, and there's, although the address seems to be consistent recently, so.
July 10th at 9 a.m. or 1:30.
I think I'm already supposed to appear in front of you, Judge, at 10:30 that morning. So could we make it around that time?
Is that okay, Madam Clerk?
That's fine.
Okay, so 10:30.
July 10th at 10:30 for a calendar call.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ms. Joseph, I'm ordering a bench warrant remand to the commissioner and forfeiture of the bail, and that's stayed until that July 10th date, okay?
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Effective August 1st, this case will be reassigned to Judge Rebecca Keeper, Branch 29.
Were you able to hear that, Ms. Joseph?
Yes, I was.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Mr. Waite, do you have any more information for me?
I had him on the line. He said he's hooked into Zoom and that it says that meeting is in progress.
Okay, but I don't see him anywhere here. Now that name is gone altogether. So,
I can try having him just call in.
yeah,
I
why
can
don't
give
you?
him that information.
Yeah, right.
Should we try that?
Yeah, just call in.
Okay.
Okay, while he's doing that, is he on? All right. Okay, I see. Ms. Schultz. We're trying to get your client in, Mr. Romanesco.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Ms. Saltz? Just 1 second, where are you here? Ms. Saltzwaddle?
Yes.
Yes. Do you have a client with you, or?
She is actually in custody. She was at the House of Correction. She's now at the county jail.
And were we gonna go forward today?
No, I wasn't prepared. I didn't know that the court was going to be in person in the court today.
Yeah, okay, so there's some confusion about that, because we can actually have her appear from the jail here in the courtroom. Unless she wanted to be in person, then we'd have to arrange for that as well. I'm not sure if that's why we scheduled it today.
We had previously scheduled it because she had a jury trial set in her other case for June 1st. And at the time we rescheduled, we didn't know we'd still be backed up.
Okay. So we'll call these cases, is she in custody because of the felony matter, not because of this, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right, State of Wisconsin versus Marlita Williams, 2015 CM 3090, disorderly conduct party to a crime, and 2016 CM 3482, disorderly conduct. Appearances, please.
State of Wisconsin appears by Assistant District Attorney William Ackel.
Attorney Crystal Saltzwedel for Ms. Williams. Ms. Williams is in custody and not produced. She's currently at the county jail.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Saltzwaddle. We're here in the courtroom today, and there's a possibility there would be even to have her appear by video here from the jail or in person. This is the first day that we've been up in live to address cases that need to be done in person for whatever reason. Mr. Ackel, were there any alleged victims in either of these two matters?
Yes, Your Honor, in both cases, and victim notification did go out.
Are there any restitution requests or victim impact statements?
No, Your Honor, in neither case.
Okay. So the victim rights provisions have been satisfied. Are there any other new offers pending at all?
Your Honor, the offer which was previously forwarded in this case for a 12-month probationary offer is still the valid offer in this case.
Okay. And this is still in a plea posture, Ms. Swaswell?
Yes, Your Honor. It is a probation recommendation. Ms. Williams is still in a plea posture, but given she now has case 19 CF 5693, probation is something Ms. Williams would like to avail herself to, but she is now sitting on $25,000 cash bail on a serious case in which is set for trial. I did reach out to that DA. He is reviewing the case, but given she's in trial posture, he wasn't looking to take these over to that court at this time.
All right. Did I at any time authorize transfer? Yeah, I did.
You have.
Yeah,
Yes.
in January, I authorized transfer to branch 10.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how would you like to schedule this?
We just need to get a new plea and sentencing date in which Miss Williams and myself can be there. And I'd like to be able to file the forms ahead of time. Like I said, it's still her intention to resolve. It's just not knowing where that other case is going. Seems like probation. She would just be sitting in custody while doing it. So it's not productive to be on probation if she's going to be in custody.
There's still some probationary terms that could be satisfied at the house, you know, right? So, okay, Madam Clerk, could we reschedule these for plea and sentencing? This can be, this can be, you know, August or September, because this is scheduled for a jury trial.
August 18th at 8:30 or 1:30.
I believe either will work.
August 18th at 8:30 for plea and sentencing as to what matter. Effective August 1st, these cases will be reassigned to Judge Rebecca Kiefer, branch 29, room 622 of the courthouse.
Okay. So for this proceedings, there'll need to be, there are alleged victims in this case, so that the victim rights will have to be in place. And Mr. Ackle, if there's any restitution or requests or victim impact statements, please make sure that Ms. Watsalo has those as well, okay?
And
All right.
just for the record and for the DA, she is scheduled for a final pretrial on August 13th, and DA Minio may reach out before then. And if for some reason there is a resolution, we would have this case over there before our set projected plea date.
What's that?
Mineo.
Okay, so that authorization for transfer just stands as well, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your patience this morning. All right, Mr. Waite, let's get back to you. Unmute, please. You have your client on the phone?
He said he was, it said meeting in progress, and then it cut him off. I just told him right now to redial.
But no, can he be on the phone with you right in your office there? So we just, it's not working. We have nothing that, he's not in there.
Okay, let me redial him and I'll put him on speakerphone. Hello. I've got you on speakerphone. This is Attorney Patrick Waite. I'm with the court on Zoom, so I want you to just stay on speakerphone with me, okay? Okay. All right.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Davis, can you hear me? This is Judge Dugan.
I can. Good morning.
Good morning. State of Wisconsin versus Kirk Davis, 2020 CT 83, OWI 3rd, and operating at PAC 3rd. Appearances, please.
State of Wisconsin appears by Assistant District Attorney William Ackle.
Attorney Patrick Waite appears on behalf of Kirk Davis, who is appearing by my telephone speakerphone.
Okay. Want to get Mr. Waite, Mr. Davis, we're on electronic appearances by Zoom and also on live on YouTube for public access. And we're appearing pursuant to State v. Soto, which allows us to do that. This is a pretrial conference. Let's see, it's an adjourned pretrial. Mr. Ackle, have you provided, oh, first of all, were there any alleged victims in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, and victim notification did go out. there is no unfiled restitution request or impact statements, nor has any victim reached out and wished to appear today.
And how many alleged victims are there?
With the kind of town now,
Oh, hold
Well,
on.
Mr. Davis, Mr. Eckel, how many, he's looking it up. 1 second, please.
Just one.
Okay. All right. So the victim rights notification is satisfied. Have you provided all the discovery and offer in this matter, Mr. Eckel?
I did see that a request went out to send discovery. I don't always get when those were sent over. So Attorney Wade, did you receive discovery?
Last time we were in court was on June 4th. I'd indicated that I had paper discovery and an offer, but I did not have any digital discovery. It was indicated to me it would be sent to me. I have not received it.
And that was requested as far back as February as well. And I haven't checked because this is an OWI 3rd. Is there any blood testing that has not returned yet or is pending?
I do not have the blood results, although it's in the complaint.
Okay.
I can send the blood results right away.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do have the blood results.
Oh, okay.
It's just the digital discovery I do not have.
Okay.
I have that it was requested on the 4th. So I mean, that's the first time we requested it since we were in the digital file and not the paper file. I don't know what the paper file would say. We're paperless now, but all I can do is promise to follow up on that June 4th request.
Okay. And was that for body cam, squad cam, surveillance, Miranda, anything specific?
Any and all digital is what we ask for.
Okay. Any expectation of, is it MPD or county? Any expectation about when it might appear?
Should be MPD.
It is MPD. Usually they're pretty quick. I'm surprised that it hasn't been sent since the 4th. So I think 2 weeks should be enough.
Okay. Madam Clerk, could we reschedule this for an adjourned pre-trial? And this goes back to February, so I don't know what Mr. Waite, what you want to do. There has been another effort to get this. The intervening time is really in large part due to the, we haven't had a hearing because of the public health emergency. I do see that Mr. Davis has been consistent in going to Justice Point. And I just want to confirm that he still lives on Kane Place, right?
Is that correct, Mr. Davis?
I've been here.
You still live on Kane Place?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and that's Kane. Okay. And the phone number appears to remain the same, ending in 5015, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So Madam Clerk, could we have a calendar call date, please? I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Sorry, adjourned pretrial date, sorry.
How much time? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. July 13th at 8, at 9 a.m. or 1:30?
Is that the 13th?
Yes.
1:30, please.
July 13th at 1:30 for adjourned pretrial conference. Effective August 1st, this case will be reassigned to Judge Rebecca Keeper, Branch 29.
Okay. All right, anything else, Mr. Wade?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Romanesco,
Yes.
thanks for your patience this morning. Just trying to get the computer system working here. State of Wisconsin versus Samantha Miller. 2019 CM 1497, possession of cocaine. Appearances, please.
State of Wisconsin appears by Assistant District Attorney William Ackel.
Connor Romanesco on behalf of Miss Miller, appearing over Zoom. Miss Miller is also appearing over Zoom, both with video and audio.
Good morning, Mr. Romanesco, and hello, Ms. Miller.
Hello,
How do you pronounce your name so I pronounce it correctly?
Miller.
It is Miller, okay. So thanks for your patience this morning. There it is. Wait, sorry.
Jason Meehan.
Okay, so there was a issue with the with Ms. Wack, there was an issue with the appointment of counsel got confused, but Mr. Romanesco is the attorney on this matter.
That's correct.
So that's been resolved. There was a DPA offer, and is this still in a DPA posture, Mr. Ackel?
Yes, Your Honor. At the last hearing, the state asked the defendant to complete a TAD evaluation. We have not received any TAD results.
That's correct. Her evaluation is scheduled for the 7th of July.
Okay, so this was on May 27th. And Ms. Mueller did not appear. We also have a discharge report here. Is there any change of offer, Mr. Ackel?
The DPA offer is still good.
Okay. So I see that the discharge was because Ms. Miller was in custody in Waukesha County. And there was difficulty reaching her.
That's correct.
So what is the current address still East Main Street?
No, I have a new address.
Okay, what's your new address?
5511 South Lake Drive. That's Cudahy 53110,
Okay,
number 6.
okay. Madam Clerk, did you get that?
Yes.
Okay. And then the phone number, does it still end? Yeah,
Updated phone number as well.
what's that?
414-520-3047. 250.
Okay, is there somebody else there with you?
Yeah,
All right, so you should be by yourself in the room. You can, if you want to speak to your attorney, you can, okay?
yeah.
All right, so whoever's in the room should leave right now, okay? So we've got that updated information. I'm going to reinstate Justice Point because this discharge was just in April. And I'm going to reinstate it, Madam Clerk, at a level 3 supervision. And I'm sorry, Mr. Romanesco, I missed the date for the TAD. When is that going to
It's
be?
the 7th of July.
Okay, so Mr. Ackel, how much time would you need to draft that after that, the 7th?
About 30 minutes, so anytime. It's more about the amount of time it takes the defense to review it.
Okay, so Mr. Romanesco, how much time do you want to
If we
get
get
that
some
meeting?
time late July, I'll need to review it in person with Miss Miller. I suspect we'd be able to do it over Zoom, but to make sure we know exactly what's in there.
All right, have you had a discussion about whether to, about the waiver of the right to do this in person?
Yes, we have.
So that it could be a Zoom hearing?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So Madam Clerk, why don't we schedule this for a DPA?
How about July 29th at 10 a.m.?
That works. Does that work for you, Ms. Miller?
It was 10 a.m.
Yes.
Yeah, on the 29th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next court date, July 29th at 10 a.m. for the deferred prosecution agreement hearing effective August 1st. Branch 31 calendar will be reassigned to branch 29, Judge Rebecca Kiefer. And can I have that phone number again?
The new phone number, please.
It's 414-250-3047.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ms. Miller, make sure that you contact Justice Point and and give them your updated information so that they can be, you can continue to report to them and they have your updated information. At this time, there's only telephone contacts again because of the public health emergency. If that should change, you need to follow what their instructions are in terms of coming in, okay?
Okay, and then it's also on the 29th by Zoom as well?
Yes.
Okay.
The court will have questions about you waiving your right to appear in person. That's why we're scheduling it for the Zoom today, okay?
Okay.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Romanesco?
That's all I have this morning. Ms. Miller, I'll give you a call with the Justice Point information.
Okay, thank you so much. You guys have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. Stay safe, everyone. Nothing else, Mr. Romanesco? Okay. And then State of Wisconsin versus Denise Giroux, 2019. 1 second, please. 2019 CM 2369, prostitution, sexual gratification. Appearances, please.
State of Wisconsin appears by Assistant District Attorney William Ackel.
Jason Meehan appears on behalf of Miss Denise Giroux, who does not appear. I do not have a valid reason for her non-appearance.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Meehan.
Good morning, Judge.
Okay.
Attorney Ackel.
So let's see. Let me get this up here. All right. So it's scheduled for a plea and sentencing today. She was discharged in March. Because of violations from Justice Point. We were scheduled for a plea and sentencing back in March. And in a couple times in March, and she was returned on a bench warrant in February from a discharge from Justice Point, and plea and sentencing dates not met. Mr. Ackel, were there any alleged victims in this matter?
No, Your Honor.
Is there any matter that's pending that has not yet been charged?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And any indication that she's in custody anywhere in the state system?
This is the only open case on CCAP.
Okay. Anything else from the state?
State would ask for a bench warrant.
Mr. Meehan, anything from you?
No, Judge.
Okay. So I'm going to order a bench warrant, remand to the commissioner, no action on bail. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Meehan?
No, Judge, that's all for today.
Okay, you don't have any updated address information or anything, do you?
I do not.
Okay.
I believe
All right.
notice was sent to her last, to the address we have on file before our last hearing. But I will also send notification of the bench warrant as well.
That's good. Maybe something will happen there. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Meehan.
No problem. You all have a good rest of the day.
All right, you too.
And stay
All
safe.
right. Stay safe. All right, Madam Clerk, we have a couple other matters here. I know that somebody was here. I couldn't tell who it was behind the mask.
That was Attorney Kaldunski. She was here for.
Oh, right. And what was she here? And what did she speak to you, Madam Clerk, or?
She has a case that's scheduled for July 21st at 9:30. Last time she was in court, we set that date, but now she's unable to attend that, make that court date as conflict. So she's calling in to reschedule or to find out if that will be rescheduled or elected.
Okay, is she coming back?
She'll come back at 1:30.
Okay, all right. And then we have another case, Kayla Connors, it's here for a status of counselor. Have you heard from her, Madam Clerk, at all?
You know, the last time it was in court, it was set for bail hearing, that's all I know. I tried to contact, the state public defender's office to see if anyone had appointed. It's just no, unable to reach them at this time,
Okay,
but I'll try anyway.
all right, so we'll call that this afternoon in case you get an information back instead of calling it this morning. And then we also have a bail bond hearing on this morning's calendar for Dejanique Jackson, 2020 CM 1571. Any information?
No, as far as I know about Ms. Jackson's case is it was in court, it went through intake and custody, someone set it for a bail hearing. I'm assuming it's a woman. She also has 2 other cases, that's scheduled for July 21st at 8:30. And Attorney Replos is on the 20 CM 289 case. And other 2 cases, there's no actual appointment of counsel. On one case, Attorney Hall appeared on during in custody, and then another attorney appeared on a different date. They was held on 2 different dates. All the cases wasn't called at the same time. So,
Okay, so it looks like cash bond was set on June 24th, so is she in custody?
I believe so. I believe that's why it was set for a bond.
All right, so let's call the case and we'll reschedule it for. State of Wisconsin versus Dejanique Jackson, 2020 CM 1571, disorderly conduct, use of a dangerous weapon, and 2 counts of in domestic abuse, and 2 counts of bail jumping domestic abuse. Appearances, please.
State of Wisconsin appears by Assistant District Attorney William Ackel.
Defendant is in custody, right?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so. A cash bond was set 5 days ago.
And this, okay. All right, there's also a battery case. (2020 CM 1395) assigned to this court with a violation report on June 22nd. No contact orders. And on June 20th, she appeared before the commissioner for a status on July 21st. And then a third open case, it's also disorderly conduct, use of a dangerous weapon, battery, use of a dangerous weapon, resisting or obstructing, and a criminal damage to property that has this similar history of being set for July 21st by this court. And she was present on June 18th with Mr. Rebholz. We scheduled a TAD evaluation. With the status on July 21st. With respect to today's case, Mr. Ackel, ending in 1571, were there any alleged victims?
Yes, Your Honor, there's one alleged victim who was notified of the bail hearing.
And is that alleged victim have any contact, also an alleged victim in any of the two other cases?
Yes, Your Honor, it is the same alleged victim as 20 CM 1395.
Okay. All right, so Madam Clerk, this is scheduled for July 21st. We don't have the person present to do a bail hearing, although she has an attorney, but who's not scheduled for today on one of the cases, but she still has representation, so I don't want to have her here without it's clear she has representation on one case. I don't want to have her appear pro se. And she's in the Milwaukee facility or the House of Correction? Milwaukee Jail? What's that? 20, what's the last, what's the date? 2/5. So that would have been Friday? No, Thursday. Thursday, right?
No, that would be Friday. Yes,
Oh.
Thursday.
It's Thursday, okay. And there is a violation report from Justice Point, but that's because she was in custody and missed. So that's not, that's documented as such on the 21st. So, Mr. Ackel, how would you like to proceed?
Your Honor, I don't think I can ask really for anything on the defendant's presence, considering that they asked for a bond hearing.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a July 21st date in place. And potentially there'll be an attorney in the meantime, but at this time, there's no action to be taken on the bail hearing. Okay? Oh, just to be clear, the alleged victim did not ask to appear today, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, Madam Clerk, I think that's the end for this morning, right? I just want to confirm about this afternoon. Is the only case that's scheduled for appearance here in the courtroom at motion hearing? So is it possible to contact Mr. Dobagai and find out if is the state planning to go today?
I've emailed the liaison who would, I haven't received a response back as to whether or not the officer is planning on going. So I don't know if we have our witness here yet. I'll let Sandra know as soon as I find out though.
Okay, so let's do this. We'll break for the morning because we're done with the morning calendar. Madam Clerk, if you get word from Mr. Dobagai or from Mr. Ackel that the proceeding can't go forward because of some kind of confusion in scheduling, then we won't resume court here. People can go home or not be present in court, okay? Yeah, I'll go home and get my state-issued computer. But that way we wouldn't have to have the deputies in this away from other assignments, okay? If we're not gonna need the courtroom this afternoon, there's no sense in having people here in the courthouse, okay? All right, thanks, everybody. I'm kicking you all out.